Three true disturbing Christmas horror stories. I'm not gonna lie, I would never have my child sit in any grown man's lap. Hell no.
This happened a couple years back on Christmas Eve.
What happened?
Ever since I was a kid, it was kind of tradition for me to spend Christmas Eve with a good friend of mine named Anthony.
Okay.
His family would always invite me to come over, and we'd play board games, open presents, and the usual stuff you do on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Then, of course, before the morning, I'd go back home and spend Christmas Day with my own family.
Loser. No,
I've been doing this for as long as I can remember.
Okay.
And this year was set to go the same way.
Yeah, what
I
happened?
was at Anthony's house, and by this point it was close to midnight.
Okay.
Around the time I'd start heading back home. Though,
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intoxicated. I told them I'd call an Uber, but
Okay.
Anthony offered to drive me home himself.
Okay.
We didn't live that far from each other, so
Okay.
I of course accepted his offer.
Is Anthony a dude? Cause right now, Anthony sounds like a horny dude trying to get in your pants. Come on, linking all Christmas Eves? Okay, buddy.
Especially considering how expensive Uber rides can get.
Okay.
Now, well, like I said, the drive wasn't that long. The scenery itself was essentially a dark, unlit road surrounded on both sides by forest, with the occasional cabin. On top of that, it had been snowing, with a decent amount of snow on the ground already. I'd memorized these roads ever since I was a kid.
Okay.
But even to this day, I still get an eerie feeling being on them at night.
Okay.
Anyway,
What
as
happened?
Anthony continued driving, something suddenly appeared to be running across the road in front of us. It wasn't
This is our first mistake. What are the benefits to being in a snowy area? I don't understand. The only thing you're gonna get is frostbite. Name one good thing you could do with snow. A snow angel? What are you, nigga? 12 years old? Stop living in snowy areas. Period.
close enough to where we almost hit it, but it did cause Anthony to slam on the brakes. Now, mind you, the road is pitch black.
Okay.
So while we did look out the window into the woods to see if we could see what it was, realistically, all we could see was what was being lit by the car's headlights directly in front of us.
What was
Anthony
it?
looked at me and said it was most likely just a deer. I told him to turn on the high beams, and I go outside to check it out.
Did y'all kill a
Looking
person?
back, I don't know what made me think this was a good idea.
Y'all kill
No
someone?
one was making me do this, and I really don't remember what my thought process was. Maybe it's because I was slightly
Who would
inebriated,
y'all kill, bro?
but I really don't know. Anyway, I get out of the car and start walking up to where I'd seen the figure run across the road. But after only a few seconds,
No,
I
nothing?
stopped dead in my tracks.
Nothing?
On the ground right in front of me were human footprints in the snow, and they were clearly fresh. There was no doubt in my mind. Whoever made these footprints is who we saw. My heart started pounding. I was now 100% sobered by the situation. I stood there, following the footprints into the woods with my eyes, when suddenly the car's horn blares out. I jumped in reaction. I was so focused on the footprints that it startled me. I looked back at Anthony, confused, but he kept honking the horn. I walked back to the car and got inside.
Okay.
I asked him why he was laying on the horn like that. He didn't say anything, but instead pointed into the woods slightly off the road.
What happened?
I looked over in the direction he was pointing,
Okay.
and that's when I saw it. I
What?
could barely make out a man, standing maybe only 40 feet from where I had just.
And y'all are still just talking and looking around? Bitch, if you don't put 120 on the dash, let's get out of here. Fast and Furious, nigga. Let's get the goddamn Rocket League going on. This is what's wrong with some people. Some of y'all deserve to die like this.
Ben. He was staring directly into the ground, so I couldn't see his face. Though he had short black hair and was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, which definitely was not enough when considering how cold it was outside. The guy's shirt was covered in what honestly looked like
What?
blood.
I mean, it could be two things. It could be a weird ass nigga, or y'all just ran over a nigga and it's y'all fault. It's one or the other.
But what best caught my attention was the black garbage bag he was holding behind him, like as if he had been dragging it. I sternly told Anthony to drive, and he would listen. As we drove past the man, he did absolutely nothing, rather just kept staring into the ground. Once we had arrived to my house, Anthony would explain what happened. While I was out looking at the footprints, he had begun to notice a figure moving towards me. He would then lay on the horn, which caused the figure to freeze and me to look back at Anthony. Shortly after, followed by me walking back to the car. We would later call the police and report a man in the woods dragging what looked like.
See, this is your first mistake. You have enough money, but you want to build your house damn near in the middle of woods. I know this is not where the story is taking place, but I'm just saying, this got to be the dumbest shit ever. No, this is where you get the gun. Let's see how scary you look like when a goddamn double pump shotgun is aiming at your dome.
Like a body in a black garbage bag. But they would never find anybody. In fact, they wouldn't even find the footprints, likely due to them disappearing because of how hard it was snowing at the time. For obvious reasons, Anthony would end up staying with me and my family that night.
Okay.
Ever since the encounter, both Anthony and I do our best to avoid that road, especially at night.
Damn. I mean, it don't change the fact, dude, y'all ran over a human, right? So both you guys are also murderers, and you guys also just so happen to run into another murderer. Story 2, let's get it. What's the next story about? Talk to me.
This happened on Christmas Eve when I was 26. At the time, I lived alone in a small house in a semi-desolate area of West Virginia. My family, however, was located on the other side of the country. So this, along with the fact that my job required me to work long hours,
Okay.
I often stayed home for Christmas. And this year was no different. I, of course, had to work on Christmas Eve. When I got home, I was exhausted. Even though it was only about 8 p.m., I decided to just grab something to eat and go to bed. So that's what I did. Fast forward a few hours, and I woke up to the sound of footsteps upstairs inside my house. Now, it's important to note that my bedroom was in the basement of the house. Therefore, pretty much any sound from the main floor was completely audible.
So you're a Discord mod. You could have just said that. We don't need all these introductions and descriptions, all right?
From where I slept. I wasn't completely on edge right away. It wasn't that rare for my friend to spend the night at my house after a night out in the nearest city. While still far, my house was a lot closer to the city than his was. Therefore, an Uber back to my place was much cheaper than going all the way back to his own. He would typically have his girlfriend pick him up later the next morning.
Alright?
I even gave him a spare key so he could stop by even if I wasn't home. But whenever he did this, he would always at least text me beforehand to let me know. And I didn't have any new notifications on my phone.
Okay.
I got out of bed, walked to the bottom of the basement stairs, and yelled out my friend's name. Though.
So you would hear a noise that you can't identify. And the first thing you want to do is yell your friend's name? You see, bro, honestly, with these disturbing horror stories, I just want to hear that they died. Nah, I'm just playing, but come on, bro. The person that they're beefing with gotta be stupid.
This was instantly met with loud footsteps as someone started running through the main floor of my house. I instinctively ran under the stairs and hid in a crawl space. Horrifyingly, the footsteps began rushing down the stairs. There was nothing I could do at this point but pray that whoever was in my house would not check inside the crawl space. I sat there and listened as footsteps ran all throughout the basement. Whoever this was began flipping couches, moving furniture, and forcefully kicking down closets, all in what I can only assume was an attempt to find me. I couldn't control my breathing at this point.
I'm not gonna lie, this gotta be the greatest invention ever. Cause if you actually looking through here, this is where Harry Potter lived. One of these little things, bro.
And my heart was beating out of my chest. Should the crawl space door be found, I had nothing to defend myself. I left my phone in my bedroom, so I had no way of even calling someone. That's when I could hear a male scream of frustration echo throughout the basement. And this was shortly followed by the man running back up the stairs. I would wait in my basement's crawl space for the next what had to be—
Ray Chat, be honest with me. If a situation like this happened to y'all, are y'all the type to confront the situation or are you gonna hide? The best course of action is to hide, I'm not gonna lie. Get naked. You think that's gonna work? I feel like that would work with monsters, but not humans, nigga. Humans, if you get naked, nigga, you have a chance of getting, I'm not gonna say that word, and killed.
Close to 2 hours. Periodically throughout this time, I would hear crashing/banging sounds from the main floor. Though, after there was—
Give them head! Bro, I hope y'all are joking. If this is y'all survival tactics, that giving a nigga double hand gawky gonna let you live, you're done.
the 15-minute period of silence, I took the opportunity to run to my room and get my phone. The first thing I noticed when I exited the crawl space was the complete and utter disarray of my house's basement.
Damn.
Not much was necessarily broken. Rather, the basement was just in a state of complete chaos. However,
Ew, if this how the couch look, nigga, I'm leaving the house too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna probably put more equipment on this couch because these niggas are living like bums.
cell phone was
I'll probably drop a little dollar bill in there.
miraculously left on my nightstand. So, I quickly grabbed it, ran back into the crawl space, and called the police. I would wait in the crawl space for the next 20 minutes until police arrived. When they did, I would go upstairs and reveal myself. The main floor was a mess, almost just as bad as downstairs. On top of that, all the doors into the house had been left completely open. I would explain the situation to the officers that arrived, and they would proceed to completely check the house from top to bottom.
Damn.
At no point did they find the intruder, though they did find where the
That is
intruder
not my
entered
room.
the house. This would turn out to be the back sliding glass door that
Okay.
had forcefully been pried open.
Damn.
The police officers asked for all the information I knew and filed a report.
Damn.
Though I got the sense I wasn't much help to them. I didn't really have much to give them other than what I heard, as I never really saw anything. Ultimately, they told me to stay with friends or family until I could get the back door fixed. So that's what I did. I stayed with a friend that night and ended up spending all of Christmas Day cleaning up my house and fixing the back door. This experience happened years ago now, and I still have not even a clue who the intruder was. Nothing was stolen, so it obviously wasn't just your everyday.
That's a stupid ass intruder, nigga. What were you doing? You were trying to make a friend? That's the way you make a friend, by breaking into someone's house, and you're not even about your bag? So nigga did it for no reason. Nigga did it for fun. I'm not gonna lie, I want that nigga arrested even more now.
House intruder. Ever since it happened, I've sort of just stuck with the belief that it was some random guy who was not mentally stable. But I don't think I'll ever be able to confirm this.
Damn.
I still do everything I can to not think about what would have happened had the intruder looked for me in the crawl space.
Yeah, you would have been done.
I lived in that house for another year after that, and nothing else would happen during that time.
Oh hell no, nigga, I'm moving the next day, alright? But anyways, YouTube, that is true disturbing Christmas horror stories. Let me know what y'all think, if y'all would survive, what y'all would do different. If you're watching YouTube, join us on Discord, catch us on Twitch, all that good stuff, man. Rockstar for life. Love y'all, and peace.